To the finals, it's the 32Boys1Cup Grand Finale. Spawning here in the top right corner of the map, it's going to be the blue Terran player with the most excellent tank defense we ever did see. It's GumiHo.
The bottom left as the red Protoss, it's PartinG.
Alright, so I don't really know what's going on with PartinG. Outside of the game, I mean, we had some issues where he went to the market. He needed a break before the series began, and I mean, like, that one base build, like, that was a risky gambit. Like, maybe not the equivalent of, like, proxy gating, but still a situation where you're going all in. You really put your life in the hands of your opponent on, like, whether they fumble the ball or whether they hold it, like, that's really going to determine the outcome of that game. And, I would be shocked if we saw him do it again, but Blink, in general, is not something I would ever write out for PartinG. His control, it's just probably his, like, strongest asset. Yeah.
It's just that one base Blink is really... Like, you know, I hope this isn't scouted, and it's kind of an easy thing to scout, because when you see there's no nexus, you start looking all over the place for anything there is, so. And then it also just, like, doesn't last long, you know? It doesn't have that sustain that 2-base Blink Stalker all-ins do. Sometimes we'll see, like, the initial Blink Stalker attack on 2-base not do a whole lot. They don't break the bunkers, and you're like, well, that wasn't a great start, but then 2 warp-ins later, off of, like, 6 gateways, and suddenly, like, it's a really big Blink Stalker army, and you do still win, but one base Blink Stalker doesn't have that same feeling. It's like, well, I denied your first attack. I think I'm okay.
Man, I was actually just thinking back on PartinG's control here for a sec too. Like, I think you could give this guy any race, right? Maybe his macro and build orders wouldn't be perfect, but I feel like his control of the army would be, like, every single time. And this is kind of one of those things where, like, I want to joke around about Archon mode, but I think that'd be cool to see. Like, we kind of had the joke around double races up on the BlizzCon stage, but you take instances where somebody like PartinG, like, their control is just so fantastic. It doesn't matter who's macroing behind it, as long as he's got control of the army, they'll probably win, right?
I still don't know why they put Zest as a macro for Zerg.
I don't know about a lot of the things in that matchup, okay? Like, those show matches were interesting, to say the least.
The Zergs, I feel like the Zerg is actually the most boring so far out of the new things shown, but of course it's going to change.
Actually, oh, sorry, continue.
But especially for the show matches, they just did not show good matches.
No, they didn't, but I just remembered I'm trying to get permission from, see if I can use some of the show match footage, because what I did, guys, while we were at BlizzCon is I recorded the players during the show matches, and that first one was Stardust and MC and Jakshi and Hyun. I remember there's a moment in the game where, I don't know if they showed it on stream or not, because of course we were watching it live, where MC's like, where'd Stardust go or something? It's because Stardust literally got, like, out of his chair and went over to, like, MC's computer and started harassing him. Like, so I'm not sure if that got shown on stream or not, but what I want to do is, like, take my footage and just, like, overlay it for, like, when that happened.
Did you ever upload the reactions?
Oh no, reactions to actually got that on my camera still. I did finally finish getting around to editing the our post BlizzCon video, which I do got to post at some point and upload, right? Ugh. But yeah, Zombie and I did a recap video, and it's been a little bit delayed because I blame Warcraft.
I like the reactions more. More looking forward to seeing that. Yeah,
they said we weren't allowed to record any gameplay footage, but we could record ourselves reacting to it, which was kind of funny, so we got some of that to hand out. But anyways, getting back to the swing of this game, we got the Twilight Council coming out yet again out of PartinG. Tries to hide it a little bit out of sight of what normally would be a scan, but this time it's off of 2 bases, and I kind of like this, like, infinitely better.
I do as well. I really do. I mean, there's less chance to be scouted, they see a nexus, they think everything's okay, and it also is just going to, I think, favor PartinG more. He's going to have that big ball of Blink Stalkers that is going to really... It's DTs, just kidding. Whatever, fine.
Yeah, JK. JK, he went for Dark Shrine.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really didn't expect the Dark Shrine. A little bit in part because it's PartinG, right? Like, we're expecting Blink Stalkers as, like, his calling card. But I think more to the point is, like, Dark Templar just don't seem to get those easy wins they once did. Like you pointed out the other day, a lot of Terran players just seem to always have a scan available. You know, the injury base coming down because it's BIOS, so turrets aren't out of the question at all. I mean, Dark Templar have the potential to do some crazy damage. With the probe hidden up here, you might be able to get a really slick warp in, but I mean, after round 1, GumiHo is not going to take any more damage from it.
Yeah, oh, that is the hope. There's been no scouting from GumiHo in a while. Yeah.
I love that PartinG, by the way, considering the way game 1 and now game 2 is going, like, he is going full Protoss with a strategy, so to speak.
Oh, he's not following up with a Blink all in. That would have been full Protoss.
It's funny, too, because, like, we could make the same jokes about Terran, like, oh, GumiHo's going full Terran, look at all these Marines, but it's like, oh, alright, that's standard. Never mind, JK.
Yeah, God.
This pylon, oh my god, I was wondering if that would have the range to warp, and I know you could do cannons, but... Alright, so 2 Dark Templar get in here, and there's just no reason for GumiHo to have seen this coming. The army he was selecting was moving across the map. Maybe they awkwardly run into it over there, but he's following up with a Warp Prism, so if this gets shut out like it has been, he's just going to Warp Prism drop into the main later.
Whoa, I don't know what he saw, but he raised that supply depot right before that DT went in.
Yeah.
That was a quick reaction.
Yeah, but the scan doesn't kill either Dark Templar is the problem. He comes back in here, he's going to have to scan yet again, because that turret's going to have a hard time getting up without it. Well, it might just barely. Goes back to working on the depot, though.
Well, that's what he saved the scan for, it is natural. It was like a couple seconds.
And the problem is, though, this Warp Prism is going to come towards the main, and it's not over yet. You know, 5 SCVs died, not the craziest amount for the investment here. And PartinG, you know, he's going for their classes behind this. Like, he's not just going for Dark Templar, but it's a great disgusting unit to harass with. This is something actually too where we've seen Dark Templar in both PvZ and PvT bring players back, so it's certainly a good way to get ahead if you can afford it. But at the same time, you know, the Forge, the Blink, all these extra gateways, like everything's been delayed for PartinG as a consequence. So if GumiHo had pushed, like it could have been a bit scary, but finds the pylon. I didn't think this had range either, but that does. Shoots across the little bridge there.
DT in the main, and GumiHo did not bother putting one. Or no, he did put a Berserker in the main. Just out of range of where we were. So the SCVs obviously do not want to surround a DT. They get one shot.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's the best of a worst case scenario, but with an army available nearby, yeah, you don't want to do that.
It's not necessary, bro. Unfortunately, you know, there's always going to be this threat. I can't believe he didn't kill it. How did he not kill it? That
thing's got like 1 health. We're gonna wait till that unloads to see. But PartinG takes a 3rd base while this goes on. Like a great distraction technique here for how, I guess, little the cost really has been. I mean, you look at what's been lost for this, right? Like 12 SCVs went down for 1 Dark Templar. He's burned 2 scans for 1 Dark Templar. I mean, so far, not such a great opening here for GumiHo.
And, you know, now that PartinG has a Colossus out, there's no fear of, well, just being overrun by the army. You know, a couple force fields, some buffer, and the Colossus should just be enough to deal with it. And with the 3rd actually going to be finished, there's also, you know, the whole Mothership Core being useful there.
It's funny seeing cannons come down. Like, PartinG, you're not playing against Zerg, man. Like, I guess they'll help a little bit, but typically...
I really like it on this map specifically, just because you know that they're going to do the whole drop in your main, attack at the 3rd, and 3 cannons is a lot to go through. They don't do a lot of damage, but it's a lot to go through.
I guess Marauders will chew through that pretty quickly, but you're right. Like, if nothing else, like, they'll deal a bit of damage, they'll buy the time it needs for a warp in, maybe. But at the same time, for PartinG, like, what I do like about this Dark Templar is, like, defensive DTs are a pretty big deal. They tend to get mixed in with, like, what is 6 or 7 Zealots, and you don't, no matter how good your ears are as a Terran player, like, you rarely hear that swipe. You don't think to scan until it's too late. You're like, oh, why'd my army die? Obviously the Colossus, right? JK, it was really a Dark Templar. Scan's looking for that observer. There is actually none here. It's a little bit here to the north. Oh,
I thought he was doing a wild. Well, he still is doing a wild guess, right? But he was planning on doing
a
doom drop into the Blink Stalkers. Could you not? Oh no.
Oh, this is 1 medevac full. 2 medevacs mostly full. This couldn't have gone better for PartinG as far as picking that off. GumiHo's a good tab. Can you blame him? Like, a Dark Templar got unloaded in the main once again. Like, you got